Hello, everyone. I'm Mojde Amini. Thank you for your interest in this session, which is the women's rights and the women's liberation movement in the USA. This session is a part of the Community Bridges workshop series by DSTL Arts, which is a stand for Develop Skills and Transcend Limits to the arts. DSTL is a nonprofit arts organization and that inspire teachers and hires emerging artists from undeserved community. Let's start with the quote. I'm not free while any woman is unfree, even when her shackles are very different from my own. This is from Audre Lorde. Audre Lorde is an American writer, feminist, and civil rights activist. She was a self described Black lesbian mother, warrior, poet who dedicated both her life and her creative talent to confronting and addressing injustice of racism, sexism, classism, and homophobia. We can summarize the US women's rights and liberation movements in three waves. The first wave from late 700s to early 900s. We analyze a poem from Emily Dickinson. The second wave from mid 1950s to late 1970s. We write or read together a poem from Audre Lorde. The third wave from early 1990s to present. This is the time which is your term to present your ideas and feeling about the women's movement in any forms and style of arts and writing. It can be poem, prose, drawing, or whatever you can imagine. About the achievement of the women in the first wave, the highlight it was 1920, which is right to vote. And then in the second wave, we can say in 1963, Equal Pay Act, and 1967, it was right to abortion. In 1993, was sexual harassment became illegal in the US, specifically in workplaces. However, in recent years, exactly this year, in 2022, the abortion right, it was overturned, and then therefore the women they don't have any right of the abortion. Emily Dickinson, born in 1830, died in 1886. She's presenting the first wave of the women's rights movement. She is an American poet, little known during her life. She has since been regarded as one of the most important figures in American poetry. The poem which we share today with you is They Shut Me Up in Prose. They shut me up in prose as when a little girl. They put me in the closet because they like me still. Still could themselves have peeped and seen my brain go round. They might as wise have lodged a bird for treason in the pound. Himself has but to will, and easy as a star, look down upon captivity and laugh. No more have I. In this poem, Dickinson metaphorically calls her constriction by the social limitation or limitation as prose, and women are poem and desire creativity and free of restriction. She feels like being punished and locked in a closet as a little girl, while they still like her, but to be quiet and obedient. She remains even more rebellious, and she laughed at the idea of they can keep her silent and in prison. Particularly, the society expected that to marry and spend her time and energy caring for her husband and children, but not writing poems. Dickinson's imagination compares her brain and mind to a free bird which wants to fly, and the society wants to constrain and punish her in an open cage similar to a pound. But that's impossible for her because she wants to fly away to the sky, stay there like a star to her imagination and mind, then laugh at the idea of that they can captivated her. After Emily Dickinson's poem, now we're going to the second wave of the movement, and we started with the poem by Lord, who said it was simple. There are many roots to the tree of anger that sometimes the branches shatter before they bear. Sitting in Nidex, the women rally before they march, discussing the problematic girls they hired to make them free. An almost white counterman passes a waiting brother to serve them first, and the ladies neither notice nor reject the slighted pleasure of their slavery. But I, who is bound by my mirror as well as my bed, see causes in color as well as sex, and sit there wondering which me will survive all these liberations. In this poem, Lord is using tree, its roots and branches as metaphor to show the uncontrolled anger of women, specifically Black women, toward inequality. Lord speaks as she is witnessing a group of women who are dining in Nedix before marching. The women are talking about the girls with difficulties or problematic issues, which they hire them to work and be independent and free, but the girls still find themselves restricted by the job because of the male dominated world. Lord considers sexism and racism are the major restraint that holding her back privately, and the Black female in general from being free and equal. She, as Black and lesbian female, feels segregated in the world as well as her Black communities. She finds herself isolated and lonely in her room and sees it as a jail and separated from the world. Lord is asking for freedom and a life built on respect and equality, and being away from racism, sexism, and all kind of discrimination. She realizes that simply her life has been denied as a human. This means that every day she lives is a fight for her. The white woman also don't notice or reject the man serving them first. It means the Lord believed that the white feminism is a version of feminism that focuses on a white woman and excludes women of color. Lord finds herself different from other women and even the Black people around her. She is dealing with a wide range of social injustice during her lifetime. Lord believes that more likely there is no chance or soon enough that all version of herself can survive or remain without compromising. Lord believes that more likely there is no chance or soon enough that all version of herself can survive or remain without compromising of all those liberations. And to conclude, both waves, the first one with the Dickinson and the second one with Lord, I may say we have some common difficulties and pain in both poets, Dickinson and Lord, both as women, but they have a different or more difficulties we can see in Lord's situation because she's dealing here not only as a woman but also as a Black and also her sexual preferences as a lesbian. And now we can see up to now both situations remain the same, even as a white woman or as a black woman. Old problem remain the same, even though not exactly, but still women, they are feeling excluded in many situations. They are feeling this is the man world. One of the main reasons I was inspired to lead this workshop, it was the incident of the overturning Roe v. Wade in June 24, 2022. And I agree with Amnesty International when it said the Supreme Court decision can endanger abortion rights around the world, specifically in undeveloped countries, which women always are more in danger and they have less right to live, work, and be supported by the laws of the countries. The other main reason when I was interested to doing this workshop and session with you is it was DSTL Arts because it inspired me as an unknown poet to present the situation as a woman as well and inspire the others, men and women, to write their own poem or artwork regarding the current situation which we are at the moment. And by doing that, we're going to be a part of the movement, even from home. I do believe movement is not only by demonstration or marching. Even one sentence, it can be a part of the movement, celebrating the movement and inspiring the next generation to do the same, even better. I was inspired by this session and this workshop by DSTL Arts, and I did write my poem based on my research from the US, specifically women rights movement, and around the world, not only US. And it's a kind of reflection for me, not just writing a poem. The name of the poem is Who We Call and What We Do. Who we call and what we do when grilling women and girls' souls, killing them slowly, hanging their flesh on hooks off the trucks, and shipping them to sell into sexual slavery. Tags: violence, nude, profit, body, hatred, dirty money, entertainment, technology, show, silence, inhumanity. Who we call and what we do when forcing women and girls into marriage and selling them into reproductive slavery to cleanse society and families' dirt and sins. Tax, dowry, money, poverty, death, abortion, science, politics, shame, slicing out genitals, burning, suicide. Who we call and what we do when pulling the trigger on women and girls, beating, raping, beheading, and stoning them to death to define law, woman and men, religion and God. Tags: abuse, animals, abortion, ableism, healthcare, streets, houses, jails, stadiums, abuse, blood, inhumanity. Who we call and what we do when grooming women and girls, hiding and imprisoning them behind niqab, veils, wigs, and homes to define ideological, social, and cultural savagism and religion. Tags: prison, hijab, veil, lie, self-harm, insecurity, hell, paradise, suicide, docile, two faces, violence, politics, insult. Who we call and what we do when silencing women and girls, voices, fooling their minds and mirroring them down in the illiteracy to work with low or no pay by to pay all their taxes in full. Tax: menial jobs, starving widows, sexism, inequality, poverty, pay gaps, legs, hands, sport in humanity. Thank you everyone for listening and joining me for this session. I hope inspire you as much as inspire me, and see you again. Share your poem and your work with us. Thank you.